Before we close this chapter, we just want to take a moment. To Mandy, thank you. Thank you for trusting us with your truth, for allowing us to sit in your story, not just the pain, but the process of healing. That kind of vulnerability isn't easy, and it doesn't go unnoticed. To everyone who watched, listened, shared, and showed up, we felt you. Every message, every comment, every ounce of love, it mattered. This series was intimate, it was heavy, but most importantly, it was real. And that's what That Quiet Storm will always stand on, a space for healing, for transparency, and for growth, out loud. Mandy, we are so proud of you. And like we've said from the beginning, we have your back, always.
Now hold up, pause, booze. Why y'all listening and not subscribed yet? Go ahead, click that button. Don't have us over here giving all this good energy for you to disappear next week.
It's your girl, Ringo.
And LA Nice.
And this is
That Quiet Storm.
Hey, boo. Hey, girl. You ready? Yeah, girl. All right, guys, we are back, and we got.
We've been episoding.
Episode 19.
Listen.
525. Listen. No, but we do thank you for sharing your story, Maisie.
And
It
choosing
has-
our platform.
Yeah.
No, choosing our platform, it has reached so far. Listen, I'm going to tell you a few things.
Oh, goodness.
So my mom, bless her heart,
I love her.
I do
her
too.
too.
My mom,
Hey, Mom.
she has kind of made us like the fighters, like we're the freedom fighters for women.
Freedom fight.
And that wasn't the expectation, but may God be praised, you know? Amen, nobody. But listen, so my mom,
Coming too. I need to have one before.
okay. My mom called me about 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
she was so like frantic. And she's like, listen, I'm in the nail shop.
Yeah.
And I'm here with a woman. And she said her man beats her bad.
Yeah.
And he's like beating her so bad. And she wants to be free. And she has sons. And she doesn't know what to do. And I told her, oh my God, you got to reach out to my daughter and her friend. And they have a podcast. And I was like, well, you give her our email. I'm going to text you our email because, you know, I'm not really sure what to do. But
Yeah.
the bigger picture is that I'm like, okay, I'm glad that you feel. And then the update to that, I don't think you know.
No, I don't.
My mom said that the lady reached out to her like a few days ago.
Okay.
Like reached out to her, and I really did send her our email.
Okay.
So people are
Yeah.
genuinely being, if not already set free from this,
Wow.
they are understanding they are in a situation they need to get out of.
Yeah. Awareness.
Awareness.
Getting
So we appreciate you for sharing this story because it is too common. The number of comments that
Oh my
have
God.
been,
We did
the
a post.
beautiful thing she did, the
Yeah.
post.
You know.
Yeah.
The one comment that stuck out to me, and I still can't forget it, was she said, I've been through this
And multiple
multiple
times. Oh my God. I'm getting chills through that because I actually know that person.
Oh, wow.
It was a family member.
Wow.
And she's not the first family member to go through something
Yeah.
like that. And so for your story to allow even people I'm close.
They are speaking up.
They are
They are speaking
They
up.
are, and let me say, as much as you guys are thanking me, I want to say thank you for giving me the platform to take my time
Yes.
to tell this story.
We wanted you to.
Because I'm very appreciative of the platform the first platform that I had. I'm very appreciative of Girl Win Anyway. I gotta plug that.
Yeah.
Because
Shout out to
she-
Girl anyway.
Yeah. Whether or not you gave me the platform to speak out and start this
The process.
process of telling my story and being comfortable
Yeah.
talking about my story. But you guys giving me the time, taking the time to really unpack everything has been a form of therapy for me. And I know that what y'all are saying is true because I was out this weekend. I worked, child.
Busy.
Out busy.
Busy.
And I thank God because there was a time where I on a hiatus because my mind wasn't right for me to be
Yeah.
as busy. But now that I have done the work and continuously healing, I'm in a space now where I can work like this, but I'm out. Friday night specifically, I did such an amazing event and I'm so grateful for that. People were coming up to me and I'm just singing background for this event. And people were coming up to me from every angle. I mean, everywhere I turn,
Wow.
we got to give you your flowers. Like,
Wow.
you are the queen of this city. We love you so much. To see that you are willing to do background and we know that you're a boss. We know what you can do in the foreground is beautiful, but I followed your story. And to see your resilience and how you, like, we commend you, we love you. I mean, I had people stopping me literally, we in the cliff,
Right.
stopping me, praying for me.
So listen, we have a story. We came to see you,
Yeah.
and the bouncer, you know how
Yes.
he pulls us out the line,
Mhm.
which I already caught exclusive or not. Don't take much. Okay. He pulls us out the line, and it don't take much for me to toot my horn. So, yes. Come on. Hello. And he said, I don't remember what he said. I said, we're here with Manzi. We're guests of Manzi or something like that. I probably lied. I don't know, y'all. So, and he said, I said, yeah, we recently just did, I said something very nice.
Yeah, it was like we just. I don't know if you said podcast, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah, oh, yeah. I watched that.
Child,
You can tell us a thing, okay? And then, I don't know if you know this, the other place we were at, our frequent place, the bartender, she stopped me and said, oh my God, I've been watching the podcast. It is absolutely awesome. I was like, oh my gosh. So people are watching
yeah,
and people are finding whatever they're finding, whether it's healing, whether it's awareness, like you said. And I'm really proud of you because this is something you could have forever let fizzle.
yeah,
You know how any rumor, no matter how bad it is,
Right.
after a while it fizzles, it dies down. You could have done that and you didn't. You wanted to speak out on it, and I'm glad you did that. I'm proud of you for doing that.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you for doing that. And so we told her that up until now, she shared her story. Now we said we want to TQS her.
TQS
We said we want to TQS her Q&A. There you go. That's a classic Q&A because there are questions that we have. Some of these you may have. And we just want to know update and the healing part of this and some other juicy questions because we know y'all want to know. And we want to know, we're not going to be long with y'all this time. It will not be 2.5 hours. But we did not want to leave you guys on such a heavy note, not knowing where things were. There are still things that we will not discuss.
Right.
But we're going to try to get as much as we can for y'all.
Okay, well, let me just take a sip.
Let's take a sip.
Start asking questions.
And what is this to, LA Nice?
This is to a new beginning.
A new beginning.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
A new beginning.
I'm with it.
All right. Oh.
well, they don't do that, y'all.
Who said?
I've always about
Doing that.
because it's a dream.
We did
Yeah,
first
it's
hour.
That's what I heard. But somebody chime in and tell us, do y'all tap with a drink or do we? I don't know.
I tap with a champagne. Like, I'm so used to it.
It's
I'm being juice. I'm fucking juice. Apple juice. I'm used to it. All right.
Yes.
First of all, can we give a shout out to
Come on.
Kat?
I knew you was gonna say that.
This hat deserves its own episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giving.
The color theme
Yeah, let's talk
that
about
LA
that.
Nice came up
Oh, she did.
was orange and blue or orange and denim.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this one right here has to know the meaning behind it.
Virgo.
So when she looked up orange, what did y'all find?
So it was so ironic because she just was like, I picked out another color scheme.
Yes.
These two buttons on.
I'm gonna tell y'all, she said white. Listen, I'm 5'6", 200 and however many.
Let me say I have one.
I said what?
So she was
Absolutely
like,
not.
and then I said white and denim, and she said, I don't want to wear denim. I was like, you know what? Can
You mixed up.
Right. She chose orange. And then I said I have a little bit of orange. This is all I got, y'all. That's what you got.
And this was the hat. This is the
The hat
that I
is the
with this
statement.
hat.
Okay? And I looked up, something told me, something was like, look up orange. Ironically,
Yeah.
there's a movement called Orange the World.
World.
Orange the World. And it actually is a movement for ending violence against women.
And just so befitting.
I could not believe it. It was perfectly befitting, and the hat needs a moment.
Okay.
I just want to.
So now you understand
Okay.
why you got that.
I just want to give this hat a moment, y'all. I love
Okay.
it. I want it. You know, she might wrap it up for my birthday. I'm trying to.
I don't mind. I've had it.
We'll see. That hat is a thing.
Yes.
All right. So LA Nice actually put the question she was saying. I was like, I want to know the answer to all of them. All of them. You want to start off with one? And how are you? Can we start with
No, I was about to
How are you?
How am I today?
How are you right now?
Right now, I'm really good. I'm coming off of a high energy work weekend. I've been singing. That's why I sound a little like Barry White. Because I've been singing.
I was Lou Rawls at first.
Right.
DJ, a big extra plug. I got. Because I've been singing since Thursday. Yeah. Today is Monday.
And singing you have?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Sunday.
Oh, and here you are.
Here
And
we
we
are,
love you for
Monday.
it.
Yes. And we do.
But we know you're ready to rap. And I don't mean specifically Tiki West. We know, we talked about this earlier, like, we know you're ready to rap, discussing it, and having to go back into it. Oh,
Yeah.
And before we get started, because part of me choosing the color too, in general, before even knowing about what the meaning was it's been so heavy.
Yes.
And we've been posting that it's been so heavy. And we knew that we wanted to talk about your healing. We wanted to get the updates. But above all things, part of healing is there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
right.
And every single situation that anybody is going through, anything that you have endured, I know so many of us have been struggling.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
No, nobody.
I know we're dealing with our own battles.
I mean,
In your own way, you have been struggling. The world is in a crisis, and there's so much. And to hear your story on top of that, and for the people and the women and the men who have gone through the same thing, to realize it's a lot.
and you know what? We understand how it works with our episodes. They can be long. We do that on purpose. We want to give a full episode. But for people who aren't going to watch the whole thing, and that's okay, we appreciate any support you give us. For people who aren't going to watch the full episode, I realize I don't want to make light of the young lady who did reach out to my mom or anybody else.
Right.
I want to ask you, as a very recent warrior, not survivor, warrior,
Yeah.
what would you suggest? And because I was thinking about this, I know we have resources we put up, but in a non-resources, like what would you suggest for a woman in her situation? Like, if you're watching this young lady, first of all, we will pray for you, but also in a situation like hers, what do you do? What do you do? What does she do?
I would firstly suggest coming up with a game plan, but in secret. Don't let your partner get any inkling. Like, don't change your behavior. Don't switch up what you do at all. Don't give them any type of indication that you're ready to heal or you're ready to move on. Literally, let this be something that you do away from you.
Yeah.
Whatever the game, if you have children, however that looks, if he's the breadwinner, if you need to depend on if you're blessed to have your parents, if you're blessed to have a sibling or blessed to have friends that will let you come stay with them,
Yeah.
get an exit plan
Okay.
firstly, because you need to get out of that environment so that
Okay.
you can think clearly to think about what the next steps will be.
Okay.
In addition to that, I strongly encourage Jesus for certain because I'm a believer.
Yes.
But in addition to Jesus, you need therapy
Yeah.
because you got to deal with this thing in the spiritual realm and in the natural.
Yeah.
Because the devil is going to attack your mind
Come on.
at all fronts.
Mm-hmm.
And then just so that you could understand, for me, the healing had to come from, we had to take it all the way back to the beginning.
That's it.
Like, why do I continue to put myself in situations where I'm dealing with men who don't see my value, who don't see my worth?
Yeah.
Well, the only way you're going to get to that answer, you've got to see therapy.
Yeah. Which was one of our questions I asked her. Jean, well, you've actually had us all, or I can speak for me, and we've talked about it, reevaluating this. And I asked her today, I said, because we talk about you, girl. So I asked her today, I said, I want to ask her, how do you avoid getting
Back into
this?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, like you said, therapy, there is something for women who attract cheaters, women who attract abusers, women who attract whatever the thing is. How do you know? That's what I want to know.
Right.
Because all guys in the beginning are amazing. They're going to put on their everything, just like all women are amazing. People, right.
People
you
have
all
to
put up your best.
represent
Absolutely. You're supposed to.
They're going to show you.
Give me your best in the beginning, child. I'm never going to get worse.
Yeah.
Right. I get that. But how do you avoid that? It's a genuine question.
Well, even if you don't go to therapy, hear me. Pay attention to patterns.
Okay.
Just pay attention to the patterns of the people that you date. Because at some junction in the road, it's going to be the same pattern if you keep choosing the same type of person. You just got to pay attention to where the breakdown is. I can tell you for me, I know within maybe 3 months, because this is what I typically have noticed with people. Not even just men, with people. Within the first quarter of the year, the mask starts to slip.
Talk
Because
about it.
people got about 90 days to give you, they're going to put their
You're
best foot
absolutely right.
for about 90 days
That's it.
before they get tired or they get comfortable. And that's usually what tends to happen. It's not that people get tired of putting up the charade. They just get comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's
They'll
best for
real
you,
down.
because while you should be paying attention to their patterns, they're paying attention to yours.
Yeah.
And the reason why they are able to get in is because they pay attention to what you allow.
Right.
What you allow little by little
Yeah.
is what they see. Okay, I can get away with this much. Let me test a little further. So within 3 months, you can kind of tell who a person really is. Now, if they're really good, like this one was, and truthfully, I don't even think he was really good. That accident happened within that we were dating 4 months.
So did you feel like you were not indebted, wrong word, but did you feel like you had to be there for him because the accident, it's almost like if it seems like the accident became the cause and distraction to
That's
the
exactly
things
what it
you would
was.
normally see.
That was the distraction. And truthfully, had I really had a better understanding of his history, I would have known that that accident wasn't an accident. That was his consequence for his behavior. Because I'm not the first woman that he's been horrible to. I'm just the first woman that he removed the mask completely and went all the way with. There were his baby mamas will tell you, or maybe they won't. I don't know, because women are really different when they're still dealing with the man.
Yeah.
You can uncover the truth about a man when you're completely done.
Right.
But when you're still dealing with the man, you still have feelings or attachment or sexual ties with the man, you're willing to cover up from him. That's a real thing. But for me, I feel like if I had known all of that I would listen to my mama when she said, "This is your opportunity to step away."
Yeah.
She said that for a reason, but I thought she was hating. I was like, bro, like that's my
That's
dog.
my God.
But if I be honest, in the very beginning of our relationship, there were things that he did, like little things, that made me feel like this is probably something that could potentially be problematic. Like he lied to me one time, and God rest his soul, for his best friend, the young man that he was best friends with and cousins to. He had a gig that he wanted to do. Now, at this time, the place that we frequent all the time, I was trying to get away from
Yeah.
because it was unsafe. There was an incident that happened where somebody got
Yeah.
shot
Yeah.
and it shook up the whole community, the whole music community. So I was like, I can't be there anymore.
Yeah.
That's not conducive to my brand
Mhm.
or to where I'm trying to go as an artist. And of course, because at the time he was mirroring me,
Yeah.
those were his saints. I don't want to be down there no more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to change. I want to do X, Y, Z. Okay, cool.
Interesting.
He tells me on a whim, very interesting. He tells me on a whim, yeah, such and such hit me up to come do a gig. I said, where? And he tells me where. I said, so you got to think about that. Like, you already know how I feel about that.
Right.
Come to find out, it wasn't that it was on a whim. There was a whole flyer that was already made with his picture on it. Like this, he knew the show. They were doing a show. It was, and he was a part of it. He lied to me about that. And I told him, I said, do what you want to do. You make the decision. He did that. And I said, when he got back to my house, because he came back to my house to spend the night, I said, I don't feel comfortable with you.
Yeah, that was
Because
an
you already lied.
unnecessary lie.
And so if a person is willing to lie about something that you know, for one, I'm going to find out because they're posting flyers about it and your picture's on the flyer. If you'll lie about something like that, I should have then, I really should have broke up with him then. This was like month 2.
Yeah. Were there any other additional signs outside of just like that being number one before the incident?
Them baby mamas.
Okay.
Them baby mamas was the biggest thing. And not the second one, the first one. Because the second one, his ex-wife, at that time, they was beefing so hard. She wouldn't let him see his son at all.
Mm.
But now I know why. Because he probably shouldn't be around any children. He doesn't have the temperament for real. He can only pretend to be nonchalant for so long. He doesn't really have the temperament to deal with people. I tell
Much
this,
less a child.
much less a child. And this is the truth. Like he can only pretend for so long. And I tell you that it was another thing that I saw middle ways towards our relationship. This was after he had healed up and everything. We went to his church so that he could practice because he just wanted to go play the organ. We went to his church and there was a homeless man that was sitting outside of the church. And the way that he talked to that man was so unnecessarily rude. It's one thing to be like, hey man, you can't be here, it's private property. But the way he talked to that man was like he was the scum of the earth, like gum of
Oh my
fire and shit.
gosh.
And that was so off-putting. I was like, hey, that was unnecessary. You didn't have to talk to him like that. You don't own this church. You got the keys because you're an employee. For you to talk to, I pay attention to the way that people treat people that they feel they either don't need or they feel are lesser.
Yes.
That's how I know the character of a person.
Yes.
And that day I knew, I was like, okay, this is something that I should definitely look into. Just
And you're nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm nothing like that at all. Like literally, I treat everybody as if we're on the same level. Because here's what I do understand. If you're frequenting the same venues that I am, or you're in the same place that I am, obviously you have right to be there. Obviously, we must be the same caliber of person for you to be in that vicinity. And even if you're not, if you're the janitor, that doesn't make me any better than you. All that means is that my position might be a little higher. You're still a human.
Yeah.
Because I could quickly go from CEO to janitor. And I don't understand why people don't get that.
Come on.
It could take a blink of an eye. It could take one emergency that you're not ready for.
You're absolutely
For you to go from the 27th floor to the first floor. It quite literally takes nothing. So humility is a must. And when I saw that character flaw, I was always like, wait, why y'all just can't
I'm
just,
sorry.
I'm only making,
Cause you know what, man? You be throwing that at y'all things. And I be like, God damn, she threw that 27 pounds real quick.
I'm just making the
Oh,
point.
Jesus.
But yeah, there were other things that I saw that I probably should have just left him alone. But for certain, I thought if I left him during that time of that accident, people would say, ah, she is arrogant. I thought people would think the things that they said about me was bad.
And then she popped back in it.
I'm sorry.
She be pulling us
I'm
together.
sorry.
We are not okay. I was starting with TV.
She gathered me real quick. And I said, ooh.
I was trying
I'm sorry.
Woo! God, I was trying my best. You can't do that. That thing took me out. Okay.
The
sorry.
snorter is, that's how you know it's real funny.
Because
Like
we
if
were
you snort when you laugh, or like you did a black door run,
Yes.
how you like, what? Yeah.
I was trying so hard, and I was sitting here be like, why is she over there smiling so hard?
Get it out. Get it out. Let's get it out.
You are so
Lethal. She carries on, and I love it. She be like, at the 27th floor.
I think I meant it. Okay. That was
Wait a
good. From the 27th to the first.
Because you could easily.
Okay. Okay. Come
It's a long way down.
on.
It's a long way down.
Okay. I didn't even take it out.
It's a long way down.
Oh, Jesus. Help me.
Man,
Who hates it?
You know, and that's the thing.
I'm not the first. I need to go to therapy.
Okay.
All right.
So we were out. I couldn't wait. I asked her if we could share this. I mean, we was gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
But
sure.
we were out. I'm gonna try my best to share this story as professionally as I can.
She won't have to do it. Because this one here was hot.
Okay. This one here.
I feel the fumes now.
The
This
color
one
of
here.
this dress.
Listen, no, I was just as okay. Here's the story.
Okay.
We're out. We were celebrating something, and we're on the outside part of this place. This is going to be difficult. And
Our favorite venue, the venue that you frequent.
yeah, thank you. There we go.
On the patio of the venue that you
Thank
frequent.
thank you, because I was struggling. And one of our sisters came to me, and excuse me, everyone, these were her words. I know that's not that nigga. So I said, who? And she said, I know that's not that motherfucker. So I said, who? And she said his name,
Insert name.
which was him.
Mm-hmm. My abuser. Let's call him by his real name.
Okay.
My abuser.
An abuser. Okay.
And abuser, not mine.
And
'Cause I
he's
won't say,
not,
oh, shit.
not your,
I will
not your
not
an
go
abuser. He's not
An
abuser.
abuser.
Okay.
An abuser.
So immediately, I didn't think it was him because this person can't see. Love you, girl, but you can't.
But she did denote that she knew it was him based on the fact he was wearing the same thing that he always wears.
She actually said that.
She literally down.
This is not her being shady.
It's not me. This is
what our sister said. She was like, he wears the same
He
thing.
wears the same like his.
So she said he's right there, and she describes what he had on, his kind of hat he had on.
Mm-hmm.
So where he was like right there. So I tilted to the side like this. Now, this particular sister of mine, we all got aggressive. We get
Yeah.
There's
aggressive.
levels
So
to aggression.
I didn't want to tell her it was him. So my heart, y'all ever been cheated on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And after you see the text and you know the person's cheating, your heart and anxiety is just inside.
Yeah.
That is exact. Didn't I tell you that was the
Yep.
exact feeling I had? The exact feeling. I was like, so I'm like this. I'm like, so I am trying to figure out, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Do I go bang a nigga in his mouth? Do I was concerned at this point because I'm like, oh my God, this sister over here is crazy. This girl is crazy. I didn't know it was so I was like, when she asked me, is that him? And I literally just stood there. And she said, sister, is that him? Then she was going to go speak to some other guys who was
with him.
near
With him. Who were with him. Let's call it what it is.
who were with him. I say it. And she said, I don't want to speak if that's him. And I said, that's him. She proceeds to walk over. I say, go with her. Go with her. Because I knew that at that moment, it was the patio, the tension on the patio. This is what I told them. It was like a Western standoff.
Okay.
Like, and it was just like people just, it was so tense. And we were just all like cornered and everybody's just standing. And I was like, I cannot believe the audacity. I could not. And I immediately say, oh my God, my brain. Oh my God, my brain. Oh my God, it's going to kill me if I go off. Oh my God, what do I do? Oh my God. I said, if he speaks to me, I'm going to go absolutely berserk. I said, if he opens his mouth and speaks to me, it's all over. I didn't know what to do.
Let me bring better context to this because the entire day we were celebrating our friend.
Yes.
So I was outside with them earlier that day.
Yes.
Now, mind you, a couple of our other friends were there and everybody's recording and they got their cameras out. And so I'm probably on a couple of people's stories and such and such.
Sure.
This is how I know that abuser is watching through a third party because he knew the likelihood of me showing up there that night was very high. The only reason that I did not show up is because A, I was tired. And then B, I was just kind of like, well, my baby got to be at school anymore. I done partied. I truthfully only go out when I have to work.
Yeah.
I very seldomly, and they will tell you,
My guy's
you're not going to see me out.
He's
just
the
having
same
a good
exact
time.
way. Yeah.
If I come outside, it's because there's a chick that I'm coming to get. But these are my girls, and our particular friend, like that is my girl.
Yeah.
So I wanted to celebrate her and be there for her. And she had invited me personally.
Yes.
She wanted me to be there. So I went. But I'm saying this to say that a narcissistic person, a person who feels like they are bigger than the program, does not care about restrictions. We're not supposed to be within 500 feet of each other.
Right. And that was what I kept saying. And the thing is, y'all, she will tell you, we literally like went back and forth or considered telling her like, come on out.
Yeah.
And I would have been there.
But we also know that you don't typically go out unless you're performing. We were like, she had already come out earlier. Let's give her a break. And I believe it was the Lord because not only that, but 27th floor was also
in the building or outside.
Which I didn't even see until afterwards.
So I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now, here's the thing. It put us in a predicament because we discussed it, I think the next day, and we were like, do we tell her that we saw him? And we really conversed. So I went to my guy and I was like, listen, I need your advice. Should we tell her? Now he is very cutthroat. Right?
Before that hit me up, I already knew.
Right.
Because people were like,
right. And I didn't know that, but he's very cutthroat. He does not hold his tongue for anyone. He's very cut dry. And without even finishing my statement, he was like, yeah. And so, and he told her what she said, I knew, of course, but it really was upsetting for us because it's like, you know, there's a chance she'll be here
to show up. And I think overall too, we really didn't want to because we want you to come out.
Yeah.
Right. And we want to be safe with God.
We want to,
because I love that so much.
And this is
we were very protective.
One thing about Ali Ringo and myself is that we are very protective of our sisterhood. And so if I call you my sister, I mean that.
Very protective.
And so knowing, not necessarily saying like how much the morning part of it or the afternoon part of it was for you and knowing, because we're both the same.
Right.
I can be at home. Okay. If I don't have to, I prefer it. All right. Okay. We talked about it in season 1, what type of person that is. Insert word. Okay. But I understand. And so we were like,
No, it was
It was a
very
bad
difficult.
situation all the way around. When I heard about it, I was like, okay, that because I was gonna come. I was gonna hit them up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna come outside. I want to finish the night with you guys.
Yeah.
But there wasn't. The Holy Spirit was like,
No, it
Girl,
had to be.
sit down.
It had to
Don't
be.
go nowhere.
It
And
had
let me. This is important to note. This is not the first time that something like this has happened.
Since the incident?
Since the incident. This is the second time that somebody has either had to call me when I'm on my way to a venue that I frequent all the time and tell me, hey, don't come because he's here, which lets me know he really thinks he's bigger than the program. And the only reason he thinks that is because he's not felt the consequences yet.
listen, the fight and the urge that I had
I know.
on this night,
It was bad. It was bad.
she knows how I am. And I can become a different person.
I
Yeah.
know.
I'm not this calm, cool, collected. I normally am someone who will seek peace first. Let's get to a common ground.
Mhm.
When she mentioned, because I didn't even hear, I didn't hear our sister saying,
Right.
is that
I came to her.
She looked at me and said, I need you to go with our sister now.
Yeah.
And I said, huh? And when she said, me and this person, this abuser, locked eyes.
Oh my God. I didn't lock eyes with it.
With it is crazy.
I didn't.
I don't think if you've ever been mad, the fire, the heat, that pulsate.
But what you felt is what he meant to invoke. He meant to evoke that kind of emotion because he wanted a bigger response.
Right.
Now he got something he wasn't anticipating. He wasn't anticipating to be run up out of it.
Okay.
He really wanted the girls to
Yeah.
act the fool because he's not gonna mess with her.
And you know what? And you know what's so crazy? I didn't know because in the moment I had to make a 5-second demand, get your shit together.
Mhm.
It was your brand. It was Mandy.
Mhm.
It was don't let him get that control.
Right. Because I did.
Right.
So I've lived a life of, we talked about this. I've lived a life. My entire life has been in some way, got to keep it together.
Yeah.
From very young child, my dad was a pastor, to this, who I sang with him, did this,
Always
did that.
pull it.
It's always, I had to always keep it together. So somehow that comes to my mind. Tell you something about LA Nice, right? There have been several times I've had to tell people get her. And what I always say is, when she gets like this, I can't control her.
I can't control
Because
me.
she goes off. But so I want to say this because there was a situation that happened in the East Coast. A guy, a gospel artist, was caught in a compromising situation, and another bigger gospel artist took him under his wing. And I was talking to my guy the other day, and I said, "Here's the thing," because I know what could be said, and what could be said is love and grace expected not to be given to him, considering the situation. And so let me answer this for those who may be thinking it, because I know that people may be thinking, so is he supposed to be hated forever, or is he supposed to be? So the question may be asked, what do we expect? Here's what I said. It happened. We know that you confirmed it happened to another close person. You admitted that you put your hands on her.
Yeah.
We know that.
Said it.
Confirmed it.
You said it to a person.
Yes,
You confirmed it.
And he said it, and we never needed you to do that because I always keep
That part
the
too.
receipts.
I feel like, and this is me personally, to move on without a public apology, an apology to her. So now I understand you can't,
Keep it. Don't need it.
right. But without addressing it publicly, knowing it is publicized, and to present yourself publicly as if nothing ever happened is incredibly disrespectful.
And crazy.
And crazy. And I feel like it makes a statement of,
Who am I? or I am.
And
Do you
that
know who I am?
is
The God
huge
complex.
problem.
That's it. It's the God complex.
It's a God
for me.
complex. It's definitely
And I
not.
go even further,
Yes,
just
please.
because we have on this orange talking about women and violence,
Yes.
specifically against our own.
Yeah.
Our own
Yeah.
are doing this to us. And
Yeah.
because they have, for example, the situation that's going on with this senator who's in a respected fraternity who murdered his wife and then murdered himself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The fact that, and everybody is human, and I get that, but for the members of this fraternity, and I'm getting really heated when I talk about this because to watch enablers, to watch people protect the monster, you don't get to have a celebratory exit. You don't get to have a memorialized exit because you are a monster.
Yeah.
That lady never deserved for her life to be claimed because of some stuff you did. I heard a very prominent preacher say about him and his ex-wife when people kept asking, well, how do you feel about her telling the story and exposing? He said, she wouldn't have a story to tell if I didn't tell it to her.
Okay.
So the fact that you murdered this lady for what she would have exposed you for, your own behaviors, and there are men specifically that will wrap their arms around you and coddle you and say, well, that's not my experience of him. I know him to be this and that. Yeah, two things can be true simultaneously.
I say it all the time.
Two things can be true at the same time. You may have been a great leader here. You may have been a great senator. You may have been a great fraternity brother, but you were not a good man. Your character was corrupt and you were not a good husband. And that is the truth. And you're not a good person. If you're willing to claim somebody's life so you can cover up your mistakes. And it's the same thing with this situation. Those guys, that coward, those guys that were with him that night, that came to the club, to the venue with him, these are the same. I'm going to tell it all. These are the same, and I hope he watches.
Well, this is the platform to do that.
I hope he watches this, the abuser, so that you know the type of men that you have around you that are so-called protecting you. These same men, one in particular, when this first happened, and I had to leave you alone and get rid of you because you were the MD of my band, this same man was willing to step in your place. And his conversation with me was, it's not personal. It's just business. This is the same person that you are choosing to keep around you because you feel like he's protecting you or putting you on gigs. I want to let you know, from me to you, that all of that is coming to an abrupt end. I need you to know that you have spent enough time hiding behind the persona that you built. You've spent enough time hiding behind your mama, behind your father, if I can call him that, behind your sister, and God bless her, sweetheart, because I believe your sister is the only innocent person out of this would be her, because I really, really believe that if she had better people around her, she would make better decisions. But because y'all all know how to play the game with each other, that's what y'all do. Behind these baby mamas, who knows? They don't want you to go to prison. If you go to prison, then how is she going to continue to get her child support? If you go to prison, then who's going to watch the kids when she want to go to the club? I'm very aware of all of these things, but all of these things are getting ready to come to an abrupt
release,
end
okay?
for you.
That's what this is.
Because for years, you have you and your family have terrorized people. You want to know how I know this? In addition to me getting so much love and comments from people who are saying that my story is helping them, people from your hometown have reached out to me. And the girls can attest to this. I don't say nothing that ain't facts. Have told me, I really thought he changed when he got with you. But his family is known for this kind of stuff. His family is known for being the fact that, let's talk about it all. And if you ever feel the unction or you get the mitigated gall to get on anybody's platform and go back at me, I want you to know every receipt I have, I will post. I've not spoken your name. I've not said anything specific about you. But if you ever feel like you want to go toe-to-toe with me in that right, I'm going to show you how people with wealth fight back. Because it's a broke mentality to want to fight you physically. I don't have that mentality. I come from money.
Okay.
I come from good stuff. What you and your people pretend to be, that's what I really am. And this is why you felt like you could get over on me because of what you had heard about me. You felt like because of the things that you'd heard people say about me, that this would be easy. Absolutely not. I warned you. Your people warned you. Don't play with her. She's not somebody to play with. Not because I can get by them, because those are things that's trivial. That's easy.
Yeah.
But where it hurts, where it really counts, because your people are big on image. Y'all love that so much. Y'all love the representative. Y'all love to pretend. All of that is coming crashing down. And if you try to go toe-to-toe with me, I will release every single thing that has everything that you ever said to me. I will post it with your name and your picture and your people too. So be very, 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 very mindful of that. Well, all of that is getting ready to come to an end.
Amen.
But I want you to know very well that those people that you had around you were willing to sell you out for a couple $100.
My gosh.
For a couple $100.
My God.
And this is why they say birds of a feather flock together. Because the people that are protecting you are the people that are just like you. So if they will find a loophole or find a way to get over on you, you should probably watch your back too, baby. You should probably watch your back too. And not because I got nobody that I'm everybody, and I got to say this publicly. I've not sent anybody after me.
Yes. And she has definitely said when he told her, and even just throughout, she definitely 100% has said, even tonight, she's called all the dogs on. She has begged people, please.
And this goes beyond the musical.
She has.
Yeah.
She has.
This goes beyond the musical. Anybody that I'm connected to, they have heard this, and everybody that loves me and support me feels the same way. If it weren't for the fact that a lot of people just have self-control.
Yeah.
Because this one and this one here, if they wanted to, they would. And that's what a lot of people.
I picked up a chair on a nigga. I had no idea who he is. Military background and all. I don't care.
I want to be very clear that this is a season where the people who need to be exposed are being exposed. And those who deserve redemption.
Yeah.
Those who deserve for you to really see who they are. That's happening right now. I have gone years of my life with people claiming me to be the villain.
Come on.
In their story. Simply because I didn't tell my side of the story.
Come on.
This is the first time that I have ever told my side. I felt like I was doing myself a disservice. As you said, it would be really easy because it's what people do. Rumors fizzle. Stories fizzle out. This was the first time I said, no, not this time.
Yeah.
And I know you were counting on me being quiet so that you could go under the radar and continue to do what it is that you do.
And let me say this, as my sister would say, count it all joy.
Count it all joy.
That the story is out. We know, we are aware, and we are going to make sure it goes as far as it needs to go, as many people as it needs to reach, so that they will not be in situations to deal with people like you.
This is why it's so important. Mandy, you have said this from the very beginning. You have said this in the reach that it needs to be said.
Yeah.
Tell your story.
Tell your story.
Because you have men, you have females, you have characters, personalities, behaviors of people who really think that they can get away and think that they can shut you up.
They bank on your silence.
And bank on your silence.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Because you were supposed to. And I do think that in the history of the relationship you had with it, that
Yeah. I like it. I love it.
It's, that it was expecting for you to kind of carry the story the same way you carry the relationship, with grace and quietness and covering.
I'm going to tell you exactly what he
Okay.
assumed.
Mhm.
Because this hurts my heart. This is the part that hurts me. Because as close as I've let other men get to me, he was the absolute closest. He knew every woe I had. He knew every concern I had. He's probably the only person besides you, girl, that know like how spiritual I am. Like how close like I love God with everything in me.
I know that.
Like y'all know I love as ratchet as I could be. I love God with my whole heart. And my life's mission is to please him.
Yeah.
And when I am not pleasing of him, I will apologize wherever I need to. I will repent wherever I need to. But he knew the stories that I told about the people in the city that I have given everything to.
Yeah.
And they gave me nothing back. And the fact that I have been made the villain in so many people's stories simply because I use my no, and simply because I have standards.
Yeah.
You don't get to treat me like this.
I really love that.
No, I do.
Use your.
I use my no.
Use your.
I'm not a people
that.
pleaser
I
anymore.
love that.
Yeah.
I grew up, and this is a part of the therapy that I've been going to therapy since September, since this started.
Which is
Okay,
something we wanted to know about. We wanted to get into
I've
that.
been going to therapy since this started, and when we got to the root of the issues, my therapist told me you're a people pleaser. You've learned that love is transactional and performative.
Come on.
So what you do, makes sense as to why I would be such a great performer on stage, because I'm used to, I get love based on how much I give back, not knowing that I should get love because I deserve it.
Yes.
That we all should get love just because we deserve it. That's a part of the human function. We need that to function. And what the devil understood about me is that my name, Amanda, means she who must be loved.
Come on.
And when you take that away from me, that's the thing that makes me question, who am I? Do I deserve? That's what gets me in my head.
That was actually going to be one of my questions
Mhm.
for you tonight is, did you feel like you were not lovable?
I've always felt like I wasn't lovable because people made me a villain. It's easy to make me the target because I spent my life being the introvert, the quiet one, mostly because I'm a bigger girl and I've always been the big girl. I made up in my mind, I don't get to be big and be loud. So I got to choose one. And I realized me being big means that I need to shrink myself in other areas. So I would always dumb down my personality. I will always be quiet. So much to the point my dad would get mad. He's like, this ain't who you are at home. Why are you need to talk, speak. And I would be like, I want to, but I feel like I can't. And so he was banking on the fact that so many people have made me the villain in their story that when this came out, they wouldn't feel sorry for me because they would feel like she must have done something to piss him off to make him this way. It's her that made him this way. When the reality of the situation was everything that people would expect me to be, I absolutely wasn't with him because I genuinely loved him. I loved him in a place and with you know how you're supposed to love with the love of God? I genuinely loved him that way because I saw all his flaws. We discussed all of this. He would say out of his mouth, I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person and I need to change. And I want to change. And I would see those moments where the real him would want to peek through. But he's the devil's number one player. You think the enemy's gonna let the nigga that's getting him the most yardage get off the field? Absolutely not. So when I come in as somebody who's ready to break generational curses, I'm ready to break strongholds. I'm really coming with that. He wouldn't let it happen. So the more that we would get close to a breakthrough, I would see the more this other person, it was literally like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like I'm dealing with two completely different people.
Wow.
And he genuinely felt like y'all would think I was the problem. I promise you, I would not argue with this dude. I have a recording in my phone that's 45 minutes long. I said, nobody's going to believe me.
I actually did that. I have some of those.
I had to because it got to a
I
point.
did that.
He would want him and 27th floor would argue so much. And he would tell me this. She would wake him up at 4 in the morning to argue when she's got to clock in at 7:30. I'm not that type of girl.
That's too much energy.
Way too much energy. I've never been the type of girl that I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I don't want it to come to that because I'm an intelligent girl. I can speak. I have words in my lexicon. It runs deep.
Come on.
So I don't have to resort to violence. If ever I've been pushed to that point, it's because somebody really provoked. Like the girl hit me upside the head when I wasn't looking. Then you get that person. But you're not going to get that based on the fact that I can't win at an argument.
Yeah.
But he really pushed for that. In that 45 minutes, all you hear is him provoking and getting louder and louder. And I never would say anything. I never would.
Was there ever a moment where you really questioned your faith and asking God, like, why? Why me? Why?
I ask God that all the time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, if you feel like I'm your strongest soldier, can you please take me out the front line? I feel like I've been on the front line my whole life. But I feel like and some people, because I know a lot of my friends are going through this spiritual awakening where they're really coming into the truth of things and they feel like spirituality and religion, they don't connect with anymore. Jesus, they don't connect with anymore. And that's totally fine. But this is my truth. And the truth of the matter is, I've always felt like when I pray and ask God for things, a part of the conditioning is the things that I go through. So me asking God for patience, because I say all the, literally, I'm the type of person, my patience has always been like this.
Yeah.
Any little thing would set me off because instead of responding, I would react in my emotions all the time. I could only think with my emotions. I could only be moved by my emotions. When I realized that people were hiding who they were behind my emotions, that's when I decided I have to get control. With him, once I got control of my emotions, there was nothing for him to hide behind. And it kept getting him increasingly frustrated, which is why he moved from, okay, it's not working, me arguing with her. She won't argue back. Maybe if I put my hands on her, maybe she'll fight me back. She won't fight me back. That pisses him off even more. Everything that I did to be in control of myself made him lose control.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized my whole life, I've never been the problem. My problem was not being in control of myself. So I appreciate that when y'all saw him that night, y'all stayed in control. Because that's the one thing that people like him, narcs, that's what they thrive
And we
on.
love you. We got your back. We love you, but it wasn't for you, girl.
I know.
Listen, I'm not gonna say
And
I
I
know I
appreciate-
keep it real.
I appreciate, but this is
One
when
for
I
you.
say birds of a feather,
Okay.
God won't let me be in connection with anybody that
Child,
like
if it was a
mine.
gas
Come
station,
that he
if it was a gas station,
Baby.
or something like that, this story would be different,
Yeah.
okay?
But
I'm
the
just
fact
being
that y'all didn't think about, well, we got to do this for me. No, we got a brand. We got kids.
No.
We got a name.
Yes.
This venue is
Yes.
where my baby.
If it wasn't a man's kid, if it wasn't for the brand, baby, like I said, a gas station, this whole conversation would be different. You
But I
running this
appreciate-
episode by yourself.
But I appreciate
The only one
that
here.
they are all like-minded right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even yesterday, like Ellen Nice is great about this. She will send us scripture and
Yes, she is.
she'll send us quotes
She
like,
is.
"Yo, I was just talking to God, and guess what God told me?" Like I love,
That's so true.
and I'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
I love the fact
And she be
that
so sincere.
she be so sincere.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that where I am right now in my journey, God is surrounding me with people that are on the same journey.
Yes.
Because for so long, I have been, God, for so long, I have been the pinnacle and everybody else has been the pyramid.
Mm.
I love being around people that I can glean from. Iron sharpens iron.
Come on.
Yes.
And for so long, I've been trying to sharpen iron with rusty metal. For so long, I have been giving and giving and giving,
Yeah.
and I have not been poured back into.
Come on, me.
And this is the first time in my adult life where I can say the friend groups that I have now, and let's be honest, we all have different circles. because they have their own other friend groups that don't involve me at all.
Very small.
And very small. But I do too. But the like-mindedness in every one of these circles is that we're all on purpose.
Yes.
We're all
Very intentional. We
intentional.
talk about that.
Yeah,
Very
we are women that are in our 40s. We are.
Come on.
It's different, okay? It's
Somebody,
very
I seen a
different.
post that said your 40s is like your 20s, but with money and clarity.
Come on.
Hello. I like that.
You know
It's
exactly
different.
what I saw somebody else say, I know what I want and I'm not seeing enough of it.
Come on.
Therefore, I'm not going for it.
And my hunger and my move is different.
It's completely different.
It's
and that's
different.
not something that
I also think that in this age, you said something. You said that, about praying for patience. I learned that with patience also, but I learned it when I would ask God to show me myself. Oh, God, show me myself. And I stopped praying.
sometimes we don't be ready.
I stopped praying. God, because all of a sudden I'd be like, dang, I talk too much. Dang, all of a sudden I'm saying all these things about me. Or even, God, give me strength. I stopped praying for that too. Because then he would allow me to be in situations where my strength has, I don't pray that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But at this age, we're more aware of the power and the impact of our words.
Yeah,
The scripture says his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. And we are very, very aware of these kinds of things. Awareness is huge for us at this stage.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened. I remember I looked at her. Do you remember this? Because this conversation about it carried at the bar. And I think the bar is when it was the after that I allowed myself to feel. Do you remember? Because I was sitting at the bar and I said,
Yeah.
this nigga really showed, and I started getting off, and I started getting filled up. The audacity. And so she was like, it's all right, boo. And then later on, I'm telling you, it changed her night. And I said, boo, I know, but
And all those emotions y'all felt when I was at the house, I felt. And so that's why when the next day when I was like, come over. Let's just, I was like, yeah, I need to.
The next
Because I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired. Not of telling the story. I'm not tired of that.
Yeah.
I've been quiet for too long.
Yeah.
I will tell this story until my last breath.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of having to navigate him. This must see. Come on.
And that's what we felt. And I said that. And I said, she should not feel like in her city that she has to tiptoe over. I did not like that.
Right.
But what I love about this, though, is that you said, and you've said a couple of episodes about how people in this city, And I want to tell you, people in this city ride for you.
I figured that this week, like that was my
People
first
in
time
this city do ride for you. And I just like in a lot of aspects of life, it unfortunately usually isn't the people you would expect to, but it's the people you don't. And you had protection.
Yeah.
You have protection.
Yes.
And you have safety and you have support. We saw it.
Yes.
And there are people who are willing to support you. There are people that are willing to and will support her. She has a village. And it's actually very strong. And it's people you don't know.
Come on.
So you got to be careful, Sadie.
Very careful.
Because
gotta be
there
careful.
are angels that are around for you, and you don't know who those angels are. So you got to be really, really careful, and your audacity can be humbled and will be very quickly, as you learned that night. Very quickly.
Yeah.
So one thing we talked about that I want to ask, it was actually a question she brought up. And I want you to answer honestly. It's okay. Do you feel like, and correct me if I'm wording this wrong, you might have to help me, living with it or healed from it?
Yes. Are you healing from this situation or healed from it? Or are you learning how to live with what has happened?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I feel like it's a combination of both. And here's why. Physically, because of the physical damage, I still have issues physically in my body. Like the left side of my face and my head. I love wearing hats just because I'm a hat girl. But a lot of my reason for wearing hats now is protection because it's still very tender on the left side. Like my kids like to play and stuff and hit this idea and I'm like, don't touch the left side of my head because there's still some nerve damage there. Another thing that I'm still healing from is my memory, because I was so, when you're in a situation of abuse like that and it's ongoing, you tend to detach so that you can survive. Well, in my detachment, I wasn't just detaching from him, I was detaching from life. So, you ever been locked out of your computer and you either can't remember your passcode or you typed it in wrong so much that it locks you out? That's how I felt like. That's what it's been like getting back inside my mind. I felt like for the past couple of months, I've been locked out. Even this weekend, this is why I made the post that I made about me doing BGVs on a professional level, because it's been years since I've done that. I got that show on Thursday. We did that show on Friday, which is a testament to my healing, because when I was with him, I couldn't add new songs to my set list because I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the show that I already had in existence.
Right.
I couldn't remember moments of performing because that's literally how much I had to get outside of my own body just to continue to survive being in a relationship with him. So healing physically, I'm still physically healing. I'm still mentally healing, because Thursdays and Sundays were the days that would trigger me the most. After he cheated with the young adult director at his church, Thursdays is their choir rehearsal, and then every Sunday. So I know every Thursday and Sunday you're going to see her. I also know Thursdays and Sundays were when you would take your opportunity to go be with her, because a lot of those Thursdays I wasn't working for some. I wasn't at church for a lot because I was still trying to heal from that. I was trying to heal from the upper respiratory situation that I had. So he would take advantage, take my car, and go do those things. So I would be triggered every Thursday and every Sunday behind that mentally. Now I've replaced those triggers with other things. So I no longer, I'm talking about up until maybe 2 months ago, I would still think he's going to choir rehearsal. He's going to see her. What is the conversation going to be? Are they going to, is he going to lie to me? This would be every Thursday. And then every Sunday, I have to be at my church and I'm thinking about where he is, because he's texting me during church to check it in. And I got to the point where I told him, don't text me, because it makes me think about you. And I'm trying not to think about you or her or what y'all got going on, because I really want to get past. This is what I was trying to get past it, so we could, I feel like Tina Campbell when she said, I had hope when all of this started at first, but you just gonna keep adding people and adding people. That's exactly what it felt like. And prayers to her for her situation that's going on right now. But this is a testament to women as to why, when they show you who they are, believe and leave. It's okay to start over. It's okay to admit that you were wrong in your decision making.
It's
I was wrong
okay.
about it. I was wrong
Can
about
you
it.
stop right there?
Yeah.
That was one of the things that kept me in my marriage for a very, very, very long time, is that I did not want to give people the satisfaction of saying, I told you so, or I knew it. You just said it is okay
You messed
that
up.
you made an erroneous mistake in your decision making. And guess what? And sometimes it wasn't an error. In my case, I got children for mine. So it's not an error. You know what I mean? But it's okay. I think that's really important, because a lot of people stay simply to
Same face.
save face, and you don't have to do that, because
No.
again, rumors fizzle, you move on. People move on.
Exactly.
They really don't care that much.
Yeah.
Truly.
But like, healing is not linear. Like
It's not.
It's
It's
peaks and
not.
valleys. Like I feel like I'm going to forever be healing, because I'm every therapy session, and my therapist says that I'm healing so well based on my awareness. Based on when she asked me, so how are you feeling? That's the first question she asks me every day. Every time I see her, how are you feeling today on a scale of 1 to 10? What is it? And I let her know, okay, good. We're past the 5. When you first started, you were at a 3.
Yes.
Like, the fact that there's progression. The fact that I'm becoming more aware of where all of this started, so that I can not only heal from him, but there are other things that I need to heal from in my childhood that caused me to get to a space of choosing it.
Yes.
Why would you choose somebody like this? Well, I chose him because it was familiar.
I have a twofold question for you because you brought up your children. And this is something I self-reflected on recently. We were having a conversation with my brother, and I realized some of my patterns of what I do now in my relationships is conducive to what I went through in my upbringing with my own father. And so with that, or through therapy, did you realize that your childhood was indicative of who you are today or what you went through in your relationships? Because I know you said this isn't even the first time that you went through a domestic violence, but was your childhood a reflection of that or indicative of that?
Absolutely. Because my mom and dad had their issues when I was growing up. They were together until I was 9 years old. And they got married super young. My mom was 21, my dad was 20. Think about where you were at 20 and 21. Trying to navigate your own life. They're not from here, so they both came from a completely different state. Trying to figure out, navigate what they want to do. My dad wanted to be an entrepreneur. My mom was like, cool. She worked in banking at the time. She was like, cool. This is what you want to do? Let's do this. But then she had her own identity issues. She realized once she got into it, maybe I really don't want to be a wife and a mom. But it's too late because you got a husband and a kid.
Right.
And my father, because she was so gung-ho about coming up here so that he could do what he wanted to do to pursue his career, he was like, I got to let her figure this out.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't see my mom for such a good portion of my life when I genuinely needed her.
Yeah.
And my dad doing the best he can with 2 girls, raising 2 girls by himself, trying to be mommy and daddy when truthfully, if we talk about his upbringing, there were 6 of them. And of the 6 of them, he was the one that they gave away because they said he was stupid, he was dumb, he would never be, and he is the most successful of his 6 brothers and sisters. And not to say that the rest of them are not successful, because my uncles, everybody in my family, like I come from, when I say come from good stock, I do come from good stock, but I also come from dysfunction. Everybody comes from some form of dysfunction because we're all trying to figure it out. So them navigating what they were navigating, yes, there are things. This is what I learned, like having a dad trying to play mommy and daddy at the time was difficult because he couldn't give us the nurturing. This is why when I say I have the mentality of a man, he gave me the game.
Yeah.
I know what it is when a man, Jesus help me. Now I'm telling the real truth.
Okay.
I know what it looks like when a man is playing games.
Come on.
I know exactly what it looks like when a man is lying. The part that reels me in is I don't know what real nurturing looks like because I didn't have that for a long time in my life. So if a man starts showing me anything that looks like nurturing, protection, and love, I gravitate towards it.
No, okay, so that brings me to this. One, do you think you're ready for
No.
love again?
No.
Okay. And 2, what do you want it to look? I know that you mentioned on the last episode that you are aware now and God spoke to you and told you you would not have to take care of him. So moving those things aside, what is it that you are not looking for? You're not looking for anything, but what is it that you are excited about or that you hope to be in your next situation?
Can I be very honest? I think as I'm healing, my expectations and my desires are changing. And where I thought if I build a family and I build the things that I didn't have as a kid, that will make me feel complete and whole. I don't feel that anymore.
Okay.
Because God gave me 2 little people that I get the most pure form of love that I ever got. I thought that love in its most pure form meant between a man and a woman. I thought I would have to be a wife to experience that kind of agape love, that kind of God love. But he gave it to me in the form of my children. So I'm not missing that. The only reason I feel if I ever got in another relationship is if I wanted that romantic side of love. And truthfully, I've gotten in a place where it ain't nothing for me to get a man. That's super easy.
Come on.
What I ain't got yet is $1 million. I haven't touched the type of wealth that I want yet. I haven't lived in the type of home that I want to live in. I haven't driven the car that I want to drive. Those are my son is getting ready to graduate. His prom is this Friday. He's graduating.
Congratulations, Matthew.
Congratulations. I want to give my children all of the things that I feel like they deserve. I don't want to be the mama that has to say no. When I say no, it's because you need to know limitations. I can't give you everything. Yeah. These are the things that motivate me now. These are the things that I strive for because love has disappointed me so many times. Because connecting myself with the wrong person has happened so many times. Literally, Jesus himself would have to sit on my bed and be like, okay, this him. Just so you know. And this is what we're going to do. This is the game plan. This is what I have for you. It would have to be that kind of experience for me to want to jump in that again. I feel now getting back into doing BGVs and doing vocal production, getting back in the studio. These are the things that I have always thrived in, using my mind for the purpose in which God gave it to me for. Not for having to play games and play chess with niggas that don't deserve my heart. That ain't what God gave me this mental capacity for. I feel like right now, I feel my most fulfilled. I'm doing the things that I want to do. I ain't never took a vacation for real. Anytime that I've ever...
We going, girl.
We going, girl. I've been overseas twice on tour. I've never actually been able to go and plan a trip because this is just what I ain't got no work involved. It's completely different. I don't know what that feels like. Me going outside, literally hanging with them or hanging with my other group of friends. This is the first time that I don't have to feel guilty about, no, I don't have to work. I'm just going to go hang out.
And you have a birthday coming up.
I do have a birthday coming up. And we're going to, and I feel strongly about celebrating this birthday.
Yes, you should.
Because I almost didn't see it.
You should. You should. This birthday is incredibly special. I was actually thinking about that earlier. And I'm like, my God. I said it last episode. This could have been an entirely different climate and situation. And your birthday could have been memorial. You know what I mean? So this is very different. And I do believe you need to celebrate it as thoroughly as you can.
And I believe in celebrating the people who have been there for me. This is why when our friend called me, she was like, I want you to come. And she let me know there was going to be somebody there that I didn't have good history with, but she promised me it wasn't going to be anything like that. I've already talked to her and I talked to her myself. And I said, not now, but because y'all are celebrating. But we need to get together. So the way that God is allowing me to mend the relationships that he was banking on, that it was banking on me having
Ain't that something?
It's the way that God orchestrates things. When I say everything
Ain't that something?
works out good.
Always.
He's
an intentional
God.
God. Nothing is by coincidence.
But I believe in celebrating the people that have protected me, who've loved on me. So when y'all call me to do anything, I don't. I know that's my birthday weekend. I'll be here.
What does? We're not going to hold you much longer.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. Do you have any more questions?
I do. My two-fold question, because I do know that you did start therapy within that same month. Of it.
I had to.
What would you say for the people who are going through, who have went through, for you? Because everybody's different. How long did it take you to get to the point where you were like, okay, I can start looking for me, and I can start adapting for me and not for other people and the people pleasing?
Like last month.
Okay.
Like this has been a long, when I say this has been a real journey, it has taken me everything to be selfish. And when I say be selfish, I'm talking about even with the people close to my sibling. Me and my sibling have not had much interaction in the past couple of months because I felt like it's only fair. I've been living for everybody my whole life. Her included. And I love my sister to death. I do. But I had to help raise her. So I've never thought beyond her. I've always thought she was my first child. I always thought with her in mind, with somebody else in mind. It wasn't until maybe about a month ago, and I told my therapist and I told my mama, I said, I told my daddy too. I said, right now, as much as I love her and I love everybody, I don't care about nobody.
Yeah.
but me.
Yeah.
And I have to.
Yeah.
you do.
Because I have those moments when y'all are not there, when I'm sitting in my house, when my kids are not there. That's been the biggest adjustment because when my kids go with their father or they got the Mace grown now, so when he go wherever he go, hanging out, and I'm by myself, those are the moments when I'm sitting in that very house, in that room, in that same bed
Yeah.
where I used to be with him, like to dwell with him. And sometimes those memories come back. And my therapist tells me all the time, it's not that you're not healing. Your brain is doing what it does. It's remembering. You got to choose how long you're going to sit there and think about it, or if you're going to move on, or what you're going to do with those memories.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with those?
Right.
Do you want to hold on to them? Or do you want to be like, yeah, I remember that, but that ain't where I am now,
Yeah.
and move on? And I've chosen every Thursday and Sunday is not going to trigger me.
That's why.
Come on.
Every time I smell his scent,
Come on.
it's not going to trigger me.
Because those are not his days. He does not own
He
them.
doesn't own that.
Yeah.
And he didn't own I'm talking about it was mute songs I couldn't listen to anymore. Because we had a playlist that we created together. I stopped listening to certain songs. I had a certain routine of songs that we would listen to on the way to gigs. I stopped doing all of that. Because I was like, I can't hear those songs and not think about him. Now, you don't own these songs, you're right.
You don't own them. And he doesn't own
He doesn't own that. And
And
I
he
actually
doesn't own you.
I was about to say, I saw something about that recently. It was like, so you got to release that. Whatever you place ownership of that relationship over the song. And I had to do that myself because there were certain songs, or everybody has a certain song that
For
you think
sure.
of an ex.
For sure.
Release that. That don't belong. That is not.
That's not that's not my life.
Yeah.
He's not in my life anymore.
Yeah.
And after May 8th, I pray to God I can close this chapter and completely move on. My mom and my therapist my mom always asks me stuff, but my mom and my therapist asked me the same question. Are you okay with whatever the verdict is going to be? And I've resolved within myself, I don't get to hold the key to his fate. That's not mine. Whatever it is that God sees fit to happen, it's going to happen. If he goes to prison or probation. One thing I know is for an extended period of time of his life, he belongs to the state of Texas. And he don't belong to me no more. So whatever it is that he has to atone for, not my issue.
Yeah.
I've done the work within myself. I've asked God to forgive me for everything that I did. I asked God to forgive me for putting him above, for putting it above God. Because I absolutely...
That's real. That's real.
I absolutely did make him anything that you spend more time with than God, you've made an idol.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I really had to cast down every match. I literally had everything. I'm talking about alcohol, everything that I tried to do to numb the pain, because if you're still making it your God, you spend more time hitting the bottle or hitting weed, you spend more time doing anything, having sex. If that's what you do more,
made it your God.
You made it your God. Even music, as much as I love music, anything that you spend more time with than the God that you say you serve, you've made a God.
Absolutely.
I've had to repent for so much, and I've done the work. I've had to repent even to people because I'm not going to act like I have not done people wrong.
Yeah.
There were people that didn't deserve the treatment that I gave him because of him. There are people that I've had to let me make amends. And it's only because the relationship holds value. There are a lot of relationships that hold no value. There are a lot of relationships that needed to go, that were exposed because I got with him. The fact that one of my very best friends, you switched up on me because of a nigga that you didn't get to blew my mind. The fact that your behavior changed because of a man, and I've known you 30 plus years, that's not a relationship that I need.
So sad.
No.
It's totally sad.
Really sad.
And when she sent me a text message wanting to rebuild it, I said, I have no desire to do that. I don't want to be friends with you. Not that I don't love you. Not that I don't like you. I think people have an issue with accepting the fact that everybody does not need to be a friend. It's a strong bond.
It is strong.
And we throw that word around so casually. You are an acquaintance. We're acquainted in some way.
Yeah.
You might be a coworker because we just happen to work the same job.
Right.
That's okay. Everybody deserves a box.
Yeah.
I have in my life always compartmentalized people.
Yeah, me too.
But I had people in the wrong box. And with growing up and maturing and being, I really feel like this is the first time in my adult life I'm feeling like a woman now. Like I'm really coming into my feminist. I'm a tomboy by nature, but it's the first time that even if I'm dressed like a tomboy, I got on sneakers, I still feel like a grown up.
Come on.
And you
And
sound like one.
Yes.
You look like one. And I really love, one of the things I love when you speak, Mandy, is the accountability. You literally spew out constantly
Yes.
of your mouth. And that to me is probably one of the growest aspects of you, that you constantly sit in a seat of accountability.
Yeah.
Because when you tell your own story, you leave no room for people to tell their version of it.
Come on.
Like you don't get to spread rumors about it.
Yeah.
When I divorced my ex-husband, that was the first pinnacle. Like I don't know why, but my life has always been so intriguing to people. When I was in college, I got pregnant my senior year. My baby daddy had a Delta pregnant at the same time and another girl. It was three. So it's three of them and they're all the same age. My son has two sisters. And they're all the same age. So on my campus, I was the topic of discussion then, and I took accountability then. When I divorced my ex-husband in Dallas, everybody was talking about, I made a whole EP about it, and I called it Ask Me.
Okay.
Y'all talking so much about it, let me tell you that.
Come on.
And not just what he did. Let me tell you what I did too.
Yeah.
Because when you take accountability, you leave no room for people to question, to wonder, or to make up stuff about you.
I'm going to tell you.
And that's a level of self-awareness that as a grown woman you need to have. Because with self-awareness, it means you can hold yourself accountable for what you are doing in your own life and not what other people are doing.
Exactly. And that means you're a candidate for change.
Come on.
When you can hold yourself accountable. The reason that it will never change is because he's never been held accountable and he won't hold himself accountable. He will not publicly. Y'all made such a good point before we started this. The fact that he has the unmitigated gall to be out publicly and have told people publicly, yes, I did this, but not publicly give an apology.
Yeah, that's
The fact that you not say, yeah, I did it and I'm sorry, it means that you're still not taking accountability. And God can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
So you're going to continue to be the same person that you've been, and you're going to rack up all of this atonement. And this is another thing. I don't understand how men specifically with children don't
I was thinking
account for the fact that your karma or your atonement may not come through you personally, but you have a lineage that you can be cursing, especially if you have daughters.
Come on.
And you, sir, have two. You have two girls and one boy. I would think, let me be a better man, if for no other reason. I don't want my son to emulate who I am. And I don't want my daughters to ever run into the person that I am.
And one of the things I was thinking about is there will come a point. One thing Jay-Z talked about was that he specifically actually rapped about it, that Blue is going to be aware, which by now she is, of his infidelity with Beyonce. And he has to, be accountable for that.
Yeah.
There will be a point. His children will want to know what happened with this, Dad, and you will have to not only address what happened, but address how you handled it. Because like you said,
that's the biggest thing. How did you come back from it?
How did you come back from it? Did you apologize? Is that what you're telling me to do? Did you apologize or things like that? So I want to say I'm proud of you. I know I keep saying that, but I'm proud of you. You've shown strength and poise and grace and vulnerability and growth that is so rare.
Yeah.
So rare.
That's what it is.
It's like so rare, especially in that you have a lifestyle and a career that publicizes you at all times. Literally.
Crazy.
You're never the clerk at Rite Aid.
No.
Right.
We can,
Honey, yeah, Stephen, no Walgreens for real. But, right? Oh, tell my age. But you're not like a store clerk in the back. You're not like you are always exposed, even to the church, even with being a mom.
Yeah.
Your personality, you're right. Everyone wants to be friends. It's something about you that's very magnetic. And in your constant exposure, you've been very vulnerable and you've been very honest and transparent. Yet you continue to show growth and you continue to give God all the glory and you continue to be vulnerable. And I admire that.
Yeah.
And I think that's completely rare. And I think it's necessary. And I think that your daughter will forever say,
Yes.
my mom is that nigga. You know,
Okay.
Niece, you could say that. I told you.
All the time, people make such a fuss about feeling away or being in competition with me. And I say all the time, I'm not who you need to be worried about. At 9 should be 10 this year. This girl, if y'all want to know how I got back on track, like musically, she was the one that was like, Mommy, you should sing this. Mommy, you should match this up with it. Like,
A little time show later.
I'm telling you, this girl's mind is incredible and her awareness at where she is right now, she was fully aware of what was going on between me and it.
Yeah.
And instead of folding, what she did was communicate it to people who she felt like could help get me out of that situation. So she told my mom what she was seeing, what she was hearing, what she was feeling, and my mom would come back. She was like, look, I don't want to get in your business. But your baby said XYZ. And anybody that knows me knows it's my children. Once it gets down to my children,
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
if she said, especially if that says,
Come on.
it's one thing if my oldest said he don't like you. Like I get
Yeah.
that. That's just he
Yeah.
don't like nobody.
Yeah.
But that one, she is like the definition of love, butterflies, rainbows. If she discerns something within you, then I pay attention. But I make sure she never. And let me be realistic, because she may encounter somebody and not know at all. She may, but I want her to feel so safe and secure with me, and to reverence me in such a way that she feels like Mommy will know what to do.
And with that, because I was going to say something similar to that, I was very concerned, and she was part of my breakthrough with this. As emotional and sensitive as I am, I never cried in front of my kids, and I never showed my emotion. My kids thought for many years I was perfect. I never ever made them ever see anything was wrong. They never hurt. Like I was just keep it together. And my therapist first, and then she corroborated with, if they never see you upset, down, fall, weak, low, they won't know how to resolve, get back up. Even my guy, I would be like, I don't want them to hear us arguing. He's like, well, how will they hear resolve? Your daughter, well, she may have she will. It's life. There will be weak points and low points. We pray they never have to get to this level, but whatever it is, she will forever know I can climb out of it. I can be strong.
She watched
And everything through that because of you.
Yeah.
And the big thing that you mentioned, the crying thing, I would never cry in front of my kids. My therapist told me crying is what you should do.
That was one of the lessons she told me.
Not only will I cry in front of them, I apologize when I'm wrong too.
Absolutely.
Because we don't always get it right
about that. Yeah.
Sometimes I may be like, you did too. Mom, it's right here.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
You know what?
You got it.
My
I'm sorry.
bad.
Yeah.
You right.
And I think it prepares them for life because
Man.
I don't ever want my children to go into adulthood. I too have the graduate coming up, and
That's
she's
crazy.
18.
Why
It's
did we have
crazy. Okay, no, I'm not okay. I mean,
Not for real. Not
Hey,
she's
look, it ain't even they my babies too, but I'm not okay.
not okay. And she just got a job, and
insane.
she's making good money, and she's got a job, and so she's dealing with adult issues now already.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, she would have been so ill prepared had I continued with this facade of everything's great.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
And she would have felt like life was hitting her so hard. Like, no, I need you to stop happening.
Be real.
Yeah.
Parents, be real with your kids.
Human.
Be open, be human. Tell them what you're going through. I do that often.
Yeah.
Mommy is not perfect.
Yeah.
I am flawed.
And so
Going
and
to
they'll
make
see
up.
signs of the man they don't want. Everything she complained to your mom about.
Yeah.
Now those trying to.
I know that.
Yeah.
And she sees the same thing in her father, the things she don't want in her own father.
Yeah.
based on the things that we've been. And I'm grateful that not only do I get to raise a young woman, but I'm raising a young man.
Yeah.
So the things that me and my son talk about, hey, I don't want to hear you ever tell me a girl gave me this or I don't ever want to hear you say I got a girl to pay for this. I said, that's weak. That's weak. And that's
Well, you also got the man game.
all the way down.
Okay.
So me and him, he told me yesterday, he said, I'm going to tell you this. And it's deep as what. I'm 18.
Okay.
Somebody young
I feel like it's some stuff that you can handle now.
Okay.
He says, so once I graduate, me and you go sit down and I'm going to tell you some stuff that I have not told you that I've done. I said, you trust me enough to do that? He was like, bro, look.
Oh. Bruh.
He's like, you know, Mom, bro, I love you with everything in me. I don't have a problem with telling you. Because I've told him. The fact that I got to tell you how you were conceived, like, hey, the reason all of y'all are the same age is because there were two other of us that were all at the same time, which are about, these are real life experiences.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's getting ready to go to college. My biggest thing with him is, please don't repeat my mistakes. And I won't even say mistakes. Just don't do the things don't make the choices that I made.
Yeah.
Because that was a choice that I made. My daddy promised me, if you get out of college without a baby, I'll buy you a Mercedes.
Okay.
And I tell Mason all the time, you got to know I love you because I chose you over a Mercedes.
Come on.
Because I absolutely could have made a different choice. But I decided, hey, this is what I chose to do.
Yeah.
I knew what was going to come with it.
Yeah.
I knew that I was going to be the talk of the campus.
Yeah.
I knew, I went to school, went to class, pregnant and all.
Yeah.
I went and did everything I do because of the choice that I made.
Yeah.
I don't get to run from that.
Yeah.
And 18 years later,
That's it.
the fact that he's a basketball superstar, the fact that he can sit and make beats, and he is so well-rounded just as a human.
Yeah.
Hearing him talk about his interpersonal relationships, his romantic relationships, and knowing that you really got good head on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Like me and your daddy,
And
we may not have been good for each other.
Y'all did that.
But
Yeah.
good for
But
you.
y'all, yeah.
Like we did that when it comes to you.
I love that. If you can, we're going to wrap it up here. What's the one thing, the most important thing? It doesn't matter if it's woman, child, female, maybe even to yourself.
Yeah.
What is the one thing, the most important thing you would say to Mandy right now?
Never lose yourself.
Mm.
Never lose yourself again. Don't put you on the back burner ever again. My whole life, I have always kept everybody else in the forefront of my life.
How can we as your village help you not to do that?
To remind me if you hear my conversation be too much about everything else and not me, be like, but what are you going to do for you?
Come on.
That
Remind me that why did that almost make me cry?
earlier,
Just
she
remind
said,
Yeah.
earlier I invited her to my daughter's graduation pool party. And she said, that's actually the weekend to celebrate my birthday, but I'll come and I said to her, she said, just tell me what time. And I said, no, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I even said, you do what you got to do for you.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
Yes.
We're going to make sure. We're going to hold you to that.
But
We're going to hold you
like
to that.
no. And this is the
I mean, it's going to be late. But still.
And because of the fact that you ladies have been, there are two type of women that I run into. Either you absolutely adore the person that I am, or you completely loathe and are envious of the person. And that's based on your self-awareness and your self-confidence.
That's it.
It don't have nothing to do with me. And I've realized that. The fact that y'all have embraced me and brought me into your circle, I would not come celebrate your baby the same way that you have celebrated my life, the same way that you have given me the platform to share my story. I cannot have any more relationships where it's not reciprocated. The transactional relationship is not reciprocated. As much as y'all feel like I'm doing for you, y'all have done so much for me. Any opportunity to celebrate, I'm here. any opportunity to uplift and not just be, because you got to be aware of just having friends that want to be there for the high moments.
Yes.
Come on.
And for the high and
And
all
for
that.
all that,
Absolutely.
anytime y'all need me for anything.
Ooh.
Like sometimes when we just text her, they're like, hey,
Girl,
today has
girl.
today me.
And you know what? And I'm gonna be real with you, very transparent. It means a lot to us. You text us the other day out the blue, and we talked about it. It was like,
Yeah.
and because we didn't want you to think
That
we
this
were
was
just this,
yeah.
and we
Yeah.
wanted you to feel safe with us. We were so protective
Yeah.
of you when we went out to celebrate our girl's birthday, and you didn't even know it. Every
Down to the I was like, we gotta hurry up and get in there.
down
You know
to
what?
what
I knew this was y'all
every way.
Yeah.
Very
I knew,
protective.
hey, they probably would want us to walk in together. Like, hey, I'm
What did we
here.
talk about?
Literally.
In the car. We were not
Literally.
there.
Okay, where's she?
And I
She
said,
not
she's probably don't want to go on.
I
Thought to myself, I don't have to always have a shield around me. There are some things that I have to just do on my own. And me walking into that situation without any covering or any protection, to me, I think that sends a message to everybody else that, hey, I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever y'all heard, yeah, that happened. But I ain't in that space.
So, if you could be any meme, what meme would you be?
Oh my gosh. Okay, lately. I gotta go by lately. Lately I've been